Hello, everybody, and welcome to the On the Runs podcast. I'm your host, Eric, and I'm here with
Give him the special.
Erika.
Give him the special.
And our guest today is Tom from We'll Run For. Tom, how? I'm just kidding.
Here's the thing. That's not the level of energy that I came to expect from you guys. Specifically you, Eric.
That was in honor of you.
I was calling him out.
All right, here we go. Our next guest on the pod is the heart and soul of the We'll Run For podcast, the puppet to Indiana Bones, the doctor of bacteriology. We met him in the most random place in the world a few years ago, and he's running the Marines Marathon this year for many reasons, and one we're going to talk about quite a bit. But before we get to that, I am wicked excited to welcome back to the podcast for his own episode from Columbia, Maryland, Tom Stover. Welcome back to the On the Runs podcast. What's up, buddy?
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. You started way too high. This is just going to go downhill from here, but I'm in for it. I'm here. Thank you for having me.
It's the hook. It's the hook, Tom. I got to get people hooked. You
Okay.
got to start high.
I get it.
And then we just figure out how to keep them sticking around, man. We've been doing this for a while. When I say we, I mean the three of us, because you've been doing this longer than us.
I guess it's been about 5. We're going on 5 years with the We'll Run For podcast, which
Excellent.
we never would have thought. But we started off in the middle of the pandemic because we wanted to talk about something and have something to, keep us motivated to run when there was no races and everything. So we just decided to start a podcast, and yeah, we're still trucking along. And we have incredible. We're in the presence of greatness with you guys. It's funny, you guys start real high energy. We start very low energy and then sort of gradually build. So
That's why I stick
We
around
go
through the
full
entire
speed
episode
ahead
with yours.
all the time.
it's awesome.
I'm just gonna sit here
There's
and
a
giggle
there's
the
a
whole
metaphor
time.
in
That's
there
my
somewhere.
thing. And but Tom, hey, it's so good to have you back.
Thank you.
Well, Tom, we do know you pretty well because we met in the most random place at Disney World at Art of Animation.
Yes, we
Erika
did.
ran into Erin and Michael one time randomly years ago. That's how we met. Everybody knows that
Loopy.
story.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But we try to get to know our guests a little more every time. And I'm going to try to throw something here at you that you're not expecting.
Oh,
Tell
Okay.
me about why Tom is God's gift to women. Tell me about Tom's meme.
so here's the thing. I don't even know when that happened. It was before digital cameras. I can tell you that because I had to get the photo developed. But we were going to go out Halloween night to the bars, and I wanted some real easy, simple costume. And I just thought, and I was working for a civil engineering company at the time, and I had access to a printer where they print these giant schematic, drawings. And I was good friends with the printer guy, and I was like, "Can you print me out a sign and laminate it that says 2 women from God, like a gift tag?" And he did, and I wore it out to the bars, and I don't even know how the picture ended up on the internet. This was back before Facebook, back kind of the MySpace days, Friendster and all that jazz. But every Halloween, it comes back viral. So if you Google either God's Gift to Women or 2 Women from God, and you scroll a little bit, you'll see my picture. And it's ridiculous, and it just gets viral because I guess during that time, during Halloween time, people always Google simple, easy, stupid Halloween costumes. So that's one of my
That means
claims
you
to
nailed
fame.
it.
It's been viral, but again, I don't even know how that would have ended up on the internet because that predates like file sharing and stuff like that. We would have had to flatbed scan that photo into somebody's computer in order for that to get online.
Tom,
But yeah.
I knew I liked you.
And I'm so unprofessional. I'm so unprofessional. Even in a professional setting, I'll always bring up like a stupid fact like that. I'm like, "Oh, by the way, I'm viral if you Google this phrase." And then I get mad. I was number 1 or 2 for years, and then sometimes it goes away, sometimes it comes back. It's fine.
I found it.
Did you?
Holy
Share
shit.
screen.
I
Share
think
screen.
I found
Do it.
Let me say,
Yeah, hold on. We're going to do a share screen here. I know Michael's looking for it. It took me all but 12 seconds to find it. This has got to be it here. We're pulling up the share screen here. That's it, isn't it?
Wait, let me see.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God.
Hang tight. It's loading for me. Oh my
Two
God.
women from.
I love that you're decorated with bows too. That's a fantastic picture.
That's at my friend Jessica's house in Baltimore, Maryland. And here's the thing: if you're ever going to be viral like that, do not read the comments on your pictures because they are hurtful.
Oh
It is not friendly. Like people are like, "Oh, can I get a gift receipt with that?" or like send it back, or it's all that was trolling before trolling became a thing. You're welcome, internet.
I didn't even have to scroll.
No,
This is
and
great.
then like
This is
on
great. It'll be on the
fail.com
YouTube.
and
Nothing but good positive comments though.
obviously. That's an Abercrombie
Yeah.
and Fitch shirt, by the way.
I just absolutely love the sense of
is
humor
great,
on that.
Tom.
That is so
This is great.
fantastic.
It's ridiculous. I
We knew we
appreciate
liked
that.
you.
Thank
That
you.
was the MySpace days. That was like Sierra 2000 to 2004 maybe. Unreal. So that was before that's the start of Tom. We're going to call it the
It's the
start
start.
of Tom before
That's
you met Erin and Michael and Diana and everybody.
Yep.
And now you're this famous podcaster who's podcasting to people all around the world and spreading the positivity and like it's so cool. It's so cool. Anyways,
Thank you.
how
Yeah.
have you been? It's been about a year and a half since you've been back on the pod. You were on the pod. Want to take a wild guess the podcast number, Erika? It was the great one.
Wasn't it 99? Okay.
That's the
I
one.
remembered that. I knew it before you even gave me the hint.
Wait, was that a Wayne Gretzky reference?
Yeah, that's the
I
Wayne
think it
Gretzky
was.
reference.
Nice. I've been good. I'll tell you what, training for a marathon is not great. It sucks. Training for a marathon in the summertime when we've had ridiculously hot and humid days is depressing. But now I'm in taper mode. I got like 3 more weeks before race date, and
4 or 5 days, actually, Tom. 4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days until race date. And I think as of right now, I am raring to go.
You're ready. You are ready.
We'll get into why you're doing that, but what we didn't get to do on your episode, and if you go all the way back to like We'll Run For episode maybe 3, you could hear Tom's story, but let's get a little bit of your story and let's lead up to that point. Let's hear the beginning of Tom from the meme days.
Early Tom. Give us some early Tom.
My mother met my father, and then
This is where he likes to start.
some stuff happened.
Livers.
No, so I guess I'll start. If we're gonna center it around my running journey, I mean, I'm from Columbia, Maryland. I've never really been an overly athletic person. I'm funny as hell, so that really got me by. But interestingly enough, my family are all swimmers. So I might not be a fast swimmer, but I am very comfortable in the water and I will not drown. So
what are your thoughts on water polo?
Water polo, it's so violent. It's awesome.
Awesome.
It's so violent, and that it's exhausting to watch that because all you're doing is scissor kicking.
Sounds miserable.
So yeah, I don't know. Fast forward, I met my wife at my company that I'm still at. We were in 2 different departments. I essentially set up a happy hour so that I could talk to her. I invited all these people, and then I took all of her fireball shots, and I mustered up the courage to ask her for a number. We went out.
You had to tell her a funny joke or something.
I don't know. I'm good in crowds. I'm great with crowd work. But no, I mean, we kind of clicked. Obviously, we clicked. And then, so when you get together with someone, you start to, or I think there's a natural inclination to want to get involved in stuff they're into. And this was around 2015, right? Because you want to explore their interests. And I think that year, and I'm hoping I get all this right. If not, she's fact checking me from the other room. But
Bring her on.
right, But so I think she made a promise to herself that she was going to run maybe a 5K each month that year, because she was getting into running. She had been listening to the Mickey Myler's podcast and then the Team Shenanigans podcast. So she was starting to get into running, and then I just wanted to experience what it was like, because again, fitness wasn't like an overly important part of my life at that point. But I actually started running off false pretenses because I went out, I got like a Garmin, and I started it, what I thought I started it, and I went out and I did a 30-minute 5K, very first time ever. And I'm like, that wasn't that difficult. The GPS didn't pick up for like 15 to 18 minutes. So like really it was a much longer 5K. But then I immediately signed up for my first race, and we've been kind of running ever since. You go through that thing where you do your first 5K and it's big and intimidating, it scares you. Then you're like, okay, so that didn't kill me, so I'm going to do a 10K. I'm going to work my way up to a half marathon. My first half marathon was the Walt Disney Wine and Dine half marathon. And, it just kind of blossomed from there. And how we got into the podcast thing, like I said, we met, you meet a lot of people through these connections, through running groups and whatever it is. We met a lot of people through the different podcasts and different podcast meetups. And one of those people was Erin. And I'm going to jump a little bit ahead, but during COVID, all the races were canceled. There was not really a whole lot of motivation to keep running because there was no goals, right?
Mhm.
So we were like, well, Erin was a pretty accomplished trail runner, ultra runner, marathon runner, and then I do my thing, right? Like up until that point, I was really at the most a half marathon distance runner. And I was like, your style is completely different than my style. I feel like we could relate to a lot of different kinds of runners, right? So we started a podcast, and her husband Michael had been podcasting on some nerd stuff for like years. Like I think he had a Lost podcast. I feel like he's gonna kill me when he listens to this because I should know all this. But like he knew how to put together a podcast and edit it. So we were like, let's just do this to give us something to ground us during the uncertainty of COVID, right? Like everything was
Yeah.
crazy. And so we just talked every single day, and we put together this podcast, and it just kind of grew. And it's something that I think we're all very proud of, but it's, and Erin used to say this all the time, it's all about the community. It's a very inclusive community. It doesn't matter if you run a 5-minute mile or a 15-minute mile. Like we celebrated every single person, right? And we wanted it to be as inclusive as possible. And the biggest compliment that we ever got was that when people listened to it, it sounded just like a bunch of friends sitting in a room chatting together.
Yeah.
There was nothing exclusive about it. There was nothing, um, uh, there was nothing intimidating about it. You could relate to it. We celebrated everybody. We celebrated every physical fitness level, whatever it is. So yeah, Diana, she definitely helps push me. She's never pressured me into doing it, but she definitely, motivates the hell out of me because she's awesome in her own right.
Mhm.
And she's done an awful lot with the running, and fitness in general. But like, it's awesome to be included in something where historically throughout my entire life, I would have never thought I would have ran in these circles. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
And then you get to meet some awesome people. Like I've met the two of you, and we call it those prices of fame moments. It was so random. Me and Diana were at Art of Animation, walking through like, kind of to our room. And I think Eric heard our voices. And he was like, wait a minute, Tom? And I'm like, this is so random. Disney is such a big place, right? And you don't go to Disney a million times. Like, we know a lot of people that go to Disney every weekend. It's ridiculous. But like,
Mhm.
it was just so random that we would bump into each other.
So
But that's how it happens, right?
yeah, you weren't even talking, so it wasn't the voice. Your voice was when I knew for sure it was you, because I just arrived. I have the big cart with all the luggage, right? And so I'm kind of going down this little slope from the lobby to our room, and you're walking on the same path, and you move aside to give me room, and I just catch you with my eye, and I just stop and say, "Excuse me, but you know, are you Tom?" I don't even think I said, "Are you Tom?" I said, "Do you have a podcast?" And then you said like, "Yes, I do," or something, and I knew when you spoke, it was you. It
Awesome.
was like, "This is Tom." Oh my god! And at the point we were like, Erika, that was 2022, so we just
Oh,
started. It was our first year, but you met Erin a few months before that.
that's right. Oh man, that was really that long ago. Holy crap. Yeah, that was during Rachel's Loopy Looper where I was just her support crew and we were out like I noticed her by the sparkle skirts and we got to talking
Hmm.
and I was like, "No shit, you guys got a podcast. This is so cool." So that's when We'll Run For came onto my radar. So it was pretty small world.
It is wicked small world. Let's go
Yeah.
back to when you met Erin, because you met her through a bunch of other groups, and you
Yep.
said she was an accomplished trail runner. And you weren't. You were, maybe half marathon. You're working your way up. I don't think you've done a marathon at this point. You know, was she very approachable? Were you just good in crowds, like you said earlier, or because sometimes people might be a little intimidated to talk to someone who is an accomplished runner or much faster or does bigger distances or like just super speedy when you're just because I think you're a lot like us. You're the average Joe guy who just loves to be part of the community.
So we met. So I think Diana had been talking to Erin. You kind of meet online. You join Facebook groups or whatever it is back before Facebook was whatever it is today.
Mm.
But like you'd meet people online and you knew them by their handle. She was Crazy Asian Runner. And so, we were part of Team Shenanigans, which is a running podcast, and so was she. And so we'd seen her, I think, in Virginia Beach at a Shamrock half marathon weekend. Then we all went to this meetup at the Bird in Hand half marathon weekend in Pennsylvania, and it was like this massive meetup of this podcast and all their listeners. It was like 50 people, and we all went to this one person's house. And me and Diana, what we liked to do is like whenever we are visiting a new area, we like to check out the local breweries, right?
Mhm.
So we just kind of put it out there, like, does anybody want to go to breweries with us? Because it's just me and Diana. We love to bop around with people, and Erin almost said yes then, but like since then, like since that point, we kind of started talking a little bit more, and then we would see her at more and more of these meetups. And then we became closer with her. You know how you kind of gravitate towards certain people. We didn't really know Michael at that point, but then we had done, and I think a few years running, we did the Shamrock Half Marathon weekend in Virginia Beach, it's an awesome race if you've never done it. But those were like some really big meetups, and we just got to know her, and we kept getting to know her, and then we would talk like every day, and we had group chats, and she was super approachable. She was like everyone's cheerleader, right? And again, and I'll be a broken record about this, it was very inclusive. It was
Mhm.
like, hey, if you're out here, if you're trying, if you're putting in the miles, if you're training, I'm just going to support you. I've never been looked at by someone in this community as like, wait a minute, you don't quite belong here. And I'm 47 years old. It's kind of weird to even think that way, but like running is intimidating. It's a very intimidating sport. You
It
have some
definitely
very
is.
very accomplished, very seasoned people who may or may not think that everyone belongs out there, right? Because you might be in their way. But I have not found that from the running community, and Erin was a big part of that. And her and Diana clicked. And then we all just clicked, and then we met Michael, and we all got to know each other, and it's one of those one thing leads to another. You don't really know the timeline, but then you've just you have your head down, and then you look up and you're like, these are some of your best friends, and for all intents and purposes, there's a very good chance you'd never meet them,
Mhm.
right? And then we talked every single day for like 5 years, And it's so weird because like my non-running friends that I grew up with that I feel like I'm very close to that know absolutely everything about me do not know very little about this side of my life. You know?
Yep. I totally relate to that. I have very close friends that I grew up with. I've known for 25, 30 years at this point. And it just your running friends you can tell anything to. Like we're open books. Like nothing is off limits. And that's something like how does that come up in a conversation with your high school friends and whatnot? So I can see how there there are two sides to a person, and it all
Yeah.
depends on when when you get together and what you talk about.
I find the same.
Yeah,
And that's what I love about
it's very
doing this is
common.
everyone we talk to seems to be very relatable in a way. And I love though we have people like you and like Ben on. I'm thinking of Ben just right. I don't know why I'm thinking about Ben, but who talk about the community in such a deep way because I don't know if like you're not a 4 hour marathoner, you're not a 3 hour marathoner, you're typically a 5+ in the back, but you talk about the community. You mentioned the meme, all those negative comments. I don't feel like we have there are nobody's perfect as far as the comments and what we have today. But I feel like there's no community that's more supportive at the same time than this community. And you have those people, you have some negative Nancy's or some people like that, but you have so much more of the support side who help get you going. And you're doing it right now with the Marines Marathon coming up. So I think that's so cool about this community. And Erin said it best. It's about community.
Yeah. I think I feel very strongly that you can't fake it,
Right.
right? Like if I'm a football player and I have a team of people and I'm like say I'm a linebacker. I've got other linebackers, right? I can slack off and maybe someone picks up the slack, right? But like it's you against pavement or it's you against dirt or it's you against
Mhm.
your own motivation to train. It's you against your fueling and your diet and all this stuff. It's a very solo thing. Even though the community is amazing, it's huge, right? And you have all the support. But like it's a very you versus your own level of effort. And so like God, I would wish I was a 3 hour marathoner. There I wouldn't have to
Me
carry all this
too.
crap I carry. Like but like it's you against your own effort. And I think everybody recognizes that,
Mhm.
and no, I'm not going to line up in the front. And when I'm out either walking our dog or running myself and I see a runner coming at me, instinctively I get out of the way because I do not want to impede a runner's, you know, um, momentum because I feel like I know what it takes. Maybe not at a certain level, but like I feel like I know that it takes an awful lot to get out there and lace up your shoes and body glide your nipples and put on your running panties that my wife calls them my running panties, and just risk blisters and all that kind of stuff. It takes an awful lot of effort. And then you also have to feel like you belong there, right? Regardless of how fast you're going. And
Mhm.
that's what I think is the best part about it. And I think that's why people do not shame people. Largely they don't shame people for being out there and being a little slower.
Oh, I would never. I am a total champion of anybody who wants to get out and move in any way that they want. Whether it's walking, they could just even sitting outside, just get some air. but being outside and just seeing people doing their thing, it makes me happy. So I
Yeah.
am a total champion of that.
Well, let's talk about some races you've run. You're always a presence at the Run Disney races. You do a lot in the whole. You're in the Baltimore area, I think, right? So let's talk about some memorable races. What are some of your favorite races? It doesn't need to be your best race, but what are some of your favorite races in the memory bank that you've done? Like maybe first marathons, maybe best marathon, maybe it was a random 5K or something that just happened to be amazing because of the community or the people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I've mentioned the Shamrock Half Marathon weekend in Virginia Beach. We've done that 5 or 6 times now. It's relatively flat. It's relatively fast. It's always on in like mid-March around St. Patrick's Day. The weather is hit or miss. One time it was beautiful and sunny out, and it was gorgeous, and there was kind of a party on the beach afterwards. Another time it was like hailing, and there was like a monsoon, and it was freezing, and everybody had their ponchos on and risking hypothermia, and there was like hail and sideways rain. But like, it's such a memorable thing because we've always had a big group go down and all the camaraderie around it, and that's a really fun one in general. It's also, if you're looking for a PR, that's pretty fast. I love the Disney races. I didn't grow up. I mean, I grew up knowing about Disney and all the characters and all that, but I didn't really go to Disney until I met Diana.
Okay.
And so she kind of opened my world up to Disney in general like that. But then also the Run Disney community is crazy. And it's one of those things where if you're not a part of it, you're like, this is a little cultish, but there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in that cult, and people dress up, and you got to get on the bus at 2:30, 3 in the morning to get to your corral, to get to the front of your corral to start the races at 5:30. You're running in the dark, and then you're running through the parks, and it's really cool because you're running in front of Cinderella's castle and through Epcot and all this stuff, and it's just so cool. One of my favorite things about running is you have access on foot to places that you might not otherwise, right? So I love the Run Disney races. Wine and Dine is one of my favorites because that's like during their food and wine festival. And so, you run the race and then you go to Epcot and you eat and drink around the world, and it's a party.
That sounds like the best of both worlds. You
I'll
get
tell
the
you,
running side and then
it's so
the
cool.
enjoy yourself side.
It's so cool. What else? Let me think.
What was your first marathon?
I've only done one marathon.
Oh.
So I've only done one marathon. It was part of the Dopey Challenge. And the Dopey Challenge it's always in January. I think it's always in January. And it's a 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon on 4 consecutive days. So it's 48.6 miles.
Love it. Trying to get Eric to do one of those.
I'm telling you, the training for that was a monster. I think we had 3 20-milers on the training schedule. We had several weekends where it was like a back-to-back, like an 18-miler and a 16-miler on a Saturday and Sunday. We were always running. You had like a midweek 12-mile run on like a Wednesday night.
Oh, wow. That is a lot.
And it's just time on your feet, right? And that was such an amazing experience. And when I finished that, you finish around World Showcase in Epcot, and about the time that you finish, like the bars are, well, like the drink stands are opening up. And I remember Erin was race chasing and cheering us, and then she met us in Epcot with all of these margaritas, right? So we crossed the finish line with margaritas, and I have these, it was like a 90s theme, and I think I was dressed up as like Gizmo Duck or something. But I had like these 90s Gooder shades on, and I'm like sobbing, and I'm like hyperventilate, that hyperventilating crying thing you do. We're like this overwhelming sense of pride was like punching me in the middle of my back, and like this one guy that was with us, Mark, he like catches my eye, and then he starts crying, and then I'm like, stop looking at me. He's like, you stop looking at me, and then Erin like hands me a margarita and gives me like the biggest hug, and I lost it.
Oh,
and like
you earned this, buddy.
It's so hard to explain that kind of feeling if you haven't done something like that, And people
That's a huge accomplishment.
People run marathons all the time. People run 50 milers all the time. I'm not comparing myself to other people like that. It doesn't matter to me. Like, because I tried my darndest to train for that. I doubted myself the entire time. Disney's got kind of an interesting thing where like there is a time limit. It's kind of a generous time limit depending on when you start. But like they have these people called the balloon ladies, who start in the very last corral, and they're the last people to start, and they walk a 16-minute mile. And you just have to stay in front of them. So if you're like, and I think it's like A, B, C, D, E, whatever corral. So if you're in like the B corral, you've got a bit of a window on them as long as you maintain that, right?
Right.
And like you can stop and take pictures with characters because there's characters all over the course. There's entertainment. If you're a fast person, you can actually ride like a roller coaster or the teacups or something like that during the marathon, which is crazy. I'm
Where
not
else
that
can
fast.
you do something like
I'm
that?
not
That
that
is such a
fast.
cool thing.
I would love to do it, but like, so those are all memorable. But those are more memorable because of like the people that we're with, and all of the costumes and all of the friends we see kind of once or twice a year down in Disney, that we've become pretty close with, and I don't know, like, so Disney's very memorable. But that was my first marathon, and that's kind of why one of the reasons I wanted to run a second marathon, because I'm like, okay, so I did 48.6 miles and I didn't die. Let me see what I can do if I'm just doing the marathon, right? If I just am committing to that one distance and that one, point in time, what can I do?
Yes.
So that's one of the reasons I signed up. I
That's a
also had
good reason.
I also had a lot of prodding from like Erin and Michael, and Diana believes in me, and all these, they're like, you can do it. I'm like, all right, well, let me see if I can do it.
Yeah. All you need to do is just have a margarita waiting at the finish. You just or you could run towards Diana.
Yeah,
She's at the finish. I'm gonna be there.
that's it.
I'm running
I
towards
mean,
you, yes.
I've run, a ton of 5Ks and like 5 milers. A lot of some of the races we really like to do are the Baltimore races. Like there's this Charm City Run is a running store in the Baltimore area. They have this thing called the B3 Challenge, which is a 5K, 10K, and a 12 miler.
Okay.
And the 5K it's the Kelly Street 5K. It's always on the weekend of St. Patrick's Day. It starts at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and it runs through Baltimore. And we always go to this Irish pub called Mick O'Shea's, and we drink before we do the run. It's not smart. We always end it. We always end it with
fun, though.
we have our ciders, we have our Guinness. We always do a shot of Jameson.
Heavy, thick beer.
And then we run down the warped and terribly maintained streets of Baltimore, Maryland. It's so scary, and if anybody knows me, you know that I am terrified of rolling an ankle. I'm terrified of tripping. I'm always policing other people's ankles. Like if we were running and I'm like behind you, I'm staring at your feet, being like, "You're too close to the curb," or "Why are you doing this? You're not looking at like." I have such anxiety over people tripping, to the point where I annoy the living hell out of the people I'm running with. But that's my charm. But no, I mean we have some that we run every year, and then we're always looking for new challenges. So I think those are some of my favorite ones.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we saw you again at Loopy this year, so you were doing the relay again, right?
Loopy, and beautiful Cooper River Loop Park.
It really is a beautiful place to run. I enjoyed it so much.
Were you there last year during the weather that was just terrible?
Yes. Yeah.
Talk about that real quick before we get to the most epic, beautiful loopy there ever was this past
I know, right?
summer.
I'll tell you. So Erin was with us, and we had set up like a compound. It was awesome. We had like multiple tents and all these tables and all this food, and everybody was vibing. And then this, we're like tracking the weather, and the storm rolls in and literally blows it all away.
Wow.
So we're all scrambling. We tie everything up in tarps, and we all go hide in our cars, and that kind of, it also blew all of our momentum away because we were all vibing, but now we're all just waterlogged and everything's kind of full of rain. And we did a final loop at like 10 p.m., but then I think everybody was ready to call it. But it's a very interesting place. It's like a 3.75 mile loop around a river, um, and you go over a couple bridges, and it's relatively flat. Um, the people that run it, some of the people that run it look like superheroes. They're just all muscle, and it's crazy intimidating. But everybody's cool. But it's a very interesting place to run because there's always some crazy thing going on. There's always a wedding. There's always some sort of quinceanera or block party or armed robbery or something going on, car theft, like whatever it is, it's happening at that park.
Oh wow.
But that's where I did my first 50K. And that was the year before that, and Erin was kind of she was kind of crewing me, and I remember there's a picture where she's putting squirrel's nut butter all over my blisters. It was a very intimate moment for me. I appreciate it. Oh my God, it was terrible. I was like, I do not love this. But I don't know. It's those kind of memories that you look back on and you realize how valuable they are, right? Because you're like, in the moment that kind of sucked, but like looking hindsight's 2020, and you're like, man, I would give anything to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then this year, where we saw Erika, the weather was gorgeous. There's no real shade there, and so when it's hot, you're in the direct sun most of the day. This time it was a little overcast. There was a nice breeze the entire day. It wasn't too hot. It was nice, but it wasn't too hot. And it just made a world of difference. Like everybody was PRing. Like people were killing it out there.
Course records went down, didn't they? I'm
All
pretty
the
sure.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. People were breaking records, and and it's one of those things where you're like, God, I don't want people to show up to this race thinking that that's the experience every year, because it's not gonna be next year.
Expect the worst.
Expect the worst. Prepare for it, but then be pleasantly surprised if it turns out okay.
I like to say it's just going to be epic weather.
It's gonna be epic weather. It's gonna be wicked awesome.
Yes.
Nailed it.
You had a team though. Like was there like 18 of you? So you needed to like divide into 3 teams or something? Like you had a ton of people who came this year because of Erin, because it was the first year since after Erin passed away.
Right. This is the amazing On the Runs podcast. We also have friends over at Rise and Run podcast, who is they're awesome, but they do a lot more Disney centric stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
they don't know anything about real cheese, though. They think some fake cheese.
They think this fake plastic cheese equates to nachos.
Yeah,
it's a whole scandal.
Yeah.
Is that the cheese in the Disney boxes? I remember it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what we are when we're listening to that? We're the popcorn meme.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Greg is I think he does a lot of their production. He's also one of the hosts, and we're friends with all of them. Greg's one of our close friends. He had this idea to get some relay teams together to honor Erin, and just have a fun day with it. So we had, was it 3 relay teams or 4 relay teams? I think we had 3 relay teams, and then a handful of folks that were just doing their own thing. Like Michael was there, he was doing his own thing, and I was part of a relay team, and it was just such good camaraderie. Like a lot of people, that was the first time they'd met in person, and everybody got along. We were, there's always 1 or 2 people that are really good with spreadsheets. So everybody's like putting what they're bringing, and who's bringing tables and chairs and tents and food and all this kind of stuff. And what do you want me to bring? It was just such a good vibe. Michael brought me this porcelain statue of Benjamin Franklin that he got from like an estate sale or an auction. And if you know anything about our podcast, for some reason I quote Benjamin Franklin to close out most of our podcasts. I don't even know how that happened.
I hope you have a quote ready, by the way. I didn't prepare you for that.
Oh my God.
You can pull
But
something
here,
out.
another thing I do is I always misquote Ben Franklin,
That's
because I
even better.
always.
That's more on brand for us.
But no, it's just like the whole vibe was good, and you're not supposed to drink on course, but we had fireball shots in honor of Erin. Um, like we took a million selfies and pet all the dogs, and it was fun. It was really fun. It was a great time. I
Yeah, you guys had that.
highly recommend it.
You guys had that little picture of Erin that said, "What would Erin do?" And I think it did say, "Take all the selfies, pet all the dogs, and drink the fireball." Was that the last one?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So, and then people just made friendship bracelets and brought them and like handed them out, and like they had like sayings that Erin would say, and
Oh,
just little things like that, little attentions to detail, like just kind of make it all, so much more special, right? Um, so yeah, that was fun. I highly recommend it.
You mentioned pet all the dogs. I got to mention this. I just got off the phone with Michael, your Michael, Erin's Michael, a few hours ago as I'm driving home, and I'm like, give me some dirt on Tom. Tell me something amazing about him. It's really what I want. Last time I actually saw Michael was at Mount Washington, and they camped with us, and Erin watched Adeline. Well, another friend of mine, Sammy, showed up with her boyfriend, Michael, and Sammy brought her dog, Nala. And what was super cool was Erin was just in love with Nala. Nala got all the pets for the entire weekend, right? So I haven't seen any of these people since that Mount Washington race. Today, I call Michael. I'm talking to him on the phone, and as I said, like we got Tom later tonight, and right now I'm going for a run. Well, I get out of my car, I go for my run. I run to the top of a ski mountain here in New Hampshire that I do quite often. And who's at the top of the ski mountain? Michael and Nala, who I haven't seen since Mount Washington.
Wow,
no way.
I know,
it's amazing.
right? So he was just taking Nala for a walk. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen you guys since then, but that was the last time I saw Michael and Erin. And it's just like, how did all those things align within an hour of each other?
Wow.
So it was pretty small world. And instantly I go to pet Nala and I'm like, just like Erin, pet all the dogs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will
That's
say,
the rule anyways.
I'll share this. We did the we did the Flying Pig half marathon in Cincinnati, and Erin was there. And it's a huge group of people, and we're all kind of doing like a run walk, maintaining some sort of interval, but we're like, it's a fun run kind of thing. And we're all like, we're running through downtown Cincinnati, and it's one of those races where the whole city comes out for it. Think of like New York, think of Philly, think of any of these things where like people like kind of line the streets. We're all running on like the right side of the road because we keep stopping and starting because of the run walk. And then I think it was me who was like, "Oh, look, there's a dog on the left-hand side." And then I'm like, "No, it's not. That's a potbelly pig." All of us, there's like 20 plus people. All of us were so inconsiderate. We just all like cut everyone off and like go over to this pig and just start taking selfies with this thing. And Erin, I feel like Erin was so enamored with this thing. It was the funniest thing in the world, but no race etiquette. We were like, we're all taking this selfie with the pig.
You were those
That's
classic Disney runners I hear
No,
about.
no, no.
It was
That's
terrible.
a special circumstance. When you see a pig on a race course, you go. It
I'm
doesn't
telling
matter
you.
where it is, you go.
We were like, is that a pig? And then we all just,
Was this like a pet, or was it like a random pig out on the loose out of its
no,
out of
someone
its
had like a pig on a leash with like it had like a pink boa around its neck and like sunglasses. I tell you, and that was like kind of mile 6 or 7, I think. It was just the highlight of the whole weekend is this random pig. But I'm sure
Mom, I need a picture of this.
I have it. I definitely have it, and
Mhm.
I'm sure that pissed so many people off.
Who cares? You had fun. That's all that
It's a
matters.
good memory. That's a cool memory. And I bet every time you see a pig, sometimes you think, oh, remember that time?
Yeah.
Bird in hand.
How often
Pig on
do
a
you
leash.
see
Pig on a leash.
pig on a leash?
That's the thing, pig on a leash. All right, well, let's talk about what you got coming up. And let's talk about
Okay.
how this happened. So we keep mentioning Erin quite a bit. Erin was the fourth member of your podcast. I called you the heart and soul. I think others call her the patriarch of the Will Run for. I can't say that.
Matriarch.
Thank you.
Here's the thing.
Anyways,
I didn't know the difference. I referred to as the patriarch.
Unless
And
that's part of the appeal.
that's
I
part of
don't.
the
Did I
appeal.
say it wrong?
No, you said it right because I said it wrong once, and they never let me live it down because I was like, and Aaron's the patriarch, or I said Michael was the matriarch. I forget what I said, but like whatever it was wrong, and they were just like, oh, we're just gonna troll him from now on with this. But yeah,
Love it.
Aaron, yeah,
So
Aaron was definitely the glue.
so we lost Erin back in March. At what point did you decide to do the Marines Marathon? I want to say it was one of the first few episodes after, at least that's when you announced it. But like, when did you decide this is the marathon I'm going to do to be my second, and why?
So you got to go back to last year's New York City Marathon, and Erin ran that race for Fred's team, and she raised money for cancer research. And I went up and cheered her on, and I saw her at a couple different spots in the race, and she was running really strong, and it was a really good moment for her. I mean, she was very sick at that moment, right? And the race after that we all did with her was the Donna half marathon down in Florida, for breast cancer, and Michael pushed her in like one of those athletic kind of
It's an
stroller,
adaptive wheelchair. Yeah.
adaptive
That
wheelchair.
was a month after, by the way. A
Yeah,
month after she ran New York.
yeah, and I remember like being at New York City, um, and I just was watching everybody run by me, and I was like, I want to do something like this for her, specifically for her. But I also think like if I wanted to do New York, I don't know that I could get in. I would have to fundraise, and I was like, I'm completely fine fundraising because guaranteed entry, and then I could do something good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to Erin about it, and we were just kind of, and like the cost on everything to go up to New York and get get the hotel I would want, like it was a lot. But I was like, I want to do something, right? Like, because I see all these people running a marathon, and I'm pretty sure I could go out right now and do a half marathon, and I'd be fine. But like, and I'm not saying anything negative about a half marathon. That is a legitimate distance. All these are legitimate distances, but I wanted to really challenge myself, and
Yeah.
so I was talking to Erin about it, and it was either going to be the Marine Corps Marathon or the New York City Marathon. And then I just decided to try to register. I didn't even know if it was going to be difficult to get into Marine Corps. It wasn't. I mean, like I just registered, and then I'm in. I'm like, oh God. But like it was definitely, she definitely inspired me to do that
Mm-hmm.
because seeing her put herself out there, knowing what she was going through, everything in her head about it, physically, she was definitely in pain, but she still did this New York City Marathon, and she ran it strong. It was very inspiring in general. And then just like the vibe was electric, and I'm like, you got to do something hard. Like I wanted to do something that I know is going to be painful, that I know is going to be challenging, right? That I knew I would have to prepare for, because I was kind of like, I was a little fledgling a little bit, and we all got very depressed around Erin, and like I was definitely not training in any kind of regular capacity or anything like that. So I'm like, I needed something on the calendar to make me actually train and go to the gym and try to improve my health,
Mm-hmm.
because Erin was younger than me, and she went so quick. Like from when she got sick to when she passed away, it was very quick. And it's one of those things that like it kind of slaps you in the face a little bit, and it's like, she was nothing but full of the most vibrant life and energy, and how fast that can go away, right? And she was a life force. Like, she was the air in the room, and then when she's not in the room, the air gets sucked out of the room. And it was really like, it was one of those things where I'm doing it for me. She would want me to do it for me, but like, she's going to be in my head the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you know, you kind of look back and you're like, I was really lucky because like some of those Disney races, I think she was injured. This is before her diagnosis or anything, but I think she was injured and she just walked one of the 10 miles with me and we just talked for the entire time. And I'm like, looking back on that, I'm like, how fortunate was I to have that one-on-one time with her, you know? But how quickly that can go away is the scariest thing in the world.
Absolutely.
You know, and I don't mean to get on a soapbox or be prophetic or anything like that, but like, you are not guaranteed any time. You are not guaranteed any tomorrow. Like, everything could get taken away from you in a heartbeat. And like, that's why I'm saying, like, when you're at these races and you're talking to these people and you're, you know, you have these kind of online relationships that become like real, like in-person relationships, and then they become your friends. Like, you never know where that's going to come from. So like, to take any of that for granted is just, it's kind of rude. So that's partly why I'm running Marine Corps Marathon, is because, you know, she had that presence, and I'm doing it for me because that's what she would want. But she's absolutely going to be with me every mile of the way, and however it turns out is however it turns out, right? She'd be proud of me no matter what.
Absolutely.
You know?
She'll give you an ass kicking if you need it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mm.
But it's coming up.
5 days.
I'm intimidated. I will tell you. Only because like the pace isn't crazy. Like the pace requirement's 14-minute mile, which I can absolutely do. But I don't know. It's going to be something where I'm just going to have to focus. And we have a small army of people that are running this race, and like Diana and a bunch of our friends are going to be cheering. They're going to set up a cheer table, a beer table. And like Michael's going to be there cheering, and we have a bunch of friends running it, and it's going to be a bit of a party.
There you
So
go.
very excited, and I'm nervous. I just want to do it.
I
know?
get that. The anticipation is sometimes worse than than actually running it yourself, like it itself.
I did get a coach.
I was going to say, I was going to ask, how is training? You got a coach. How is this whole experience?
It's a great experience. She's very prescriptive. She's very flexible. She works with me. You know, we've been focusing a lot on speed work, maintaining longer intervals, you know, and just proper fueling and everything. And just, it's definitely a lot of different things. Like, there'll be time, you know, the long runs on the weekends, there'll be speed work, there'll be intervals, there'll be mile repeats, quarter mile repeats, whatever it is. And then also she'll throw in like Peloton and strength training and things like that.
Nice.
Strength training, I never strength train. It's terrible. But like, it makes such a difference.
Doesn't it?
Such a difference. But no, I mean, so, you know, whatever happens, happens. But like, I've really enjoyed this entire process of prepping for getting ready for this marathon. I will be happy when I cross that finish line, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That'll
You
be
work
so
so hard
cool.
for it. Absolutely. You're gonna kick some ass and hopefully enjoy a beer on course with your friends setting up that table, because I think that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
As a loyal listener of the Will Run for a podcast, and I will say it's the only other running podcast I listen to, you know, religiously every week, within a day or two after it comes out, always in the car with my daughter when I bring her to school, because it's appropriate versus some of the other podcasts I listen to. So I appreciate that. As a loyal listener, I've enjoyed this journey because you do talk about it a little bit. You talk about how it's going, and you got the 20 miler, you're picking out your 14 miler here, and you share and you make content and you share it on the Will Run For page. Erika, take notes.
I've been
and you
shamed.
talk about it. You share it all. And I really enjoyed being part of this process. So I'm super excited for you to do the Marine Corps Marathon in a couple of days and have a blast, but also I know it will be very emotional. So contain those emotions for the finish line. Hopefully there's that margarita or something, and have a blast, man. I'm super excited to continue following this journey, man.
Thank you. Yeah, like it's weird what goes into it. Like even like I make a playlist for training for like different distances of training. Like I map out my routes. I try to make it creative. Every little piece of it. You kind of experiment with different fueling and stuff like that. Like it all goes into it.
Mm.
It. I don't think anybody just goes out and does it. Like, and maybe they do, but like I think part of it is the preparation for it, and that kind of that keeps you motivated to keep going. You know.
Marathon training is a
But now
whole package.
It's
It's
a
definitely
full-time
like
job.
a program. Like you have to practice all the little things.
Try doing
Have to
it
practice.
with kids.
Oh, that's even
I
more
can
tough.
imagine. I cannot imagine.
But yeah, you got to figure out what you're gonna wear,
Is
what
Indiana
you're gonna
Bones
eat.
a runner, by the way, or is she just a walker? He.
Indiana Bones is his own thing. He's his own vibe. He's single-handedly keeping our mental health together in this household. But he's very distracted.
Like
He's all over.
squirrel.
He's squirrel this, squirrel that. He's all over the place. He is keeping us safe from anything with wheels. So here, this is embarrassing. So we went to a race. Diana was running a race. It was a 5 miler. She does this Oktoberfest 5 miler every year, and she always kills it. She runs it so fast, it's crazy. But like, and I'll go to like the start with her and like see her off, and I'll usually have Indiana Bones. So this woman in a wheelchair was like moving by us. Indiana Bones starts barking because he barks at anything with like bicycles or anything with like a spoked wheel. And I'm like, Indiana Bones, man, that's not a good look. You're being ableist. You're, it's it's not a good look. I'm like, it's not you. It's literally the wheels on that chair. If this was a bicycle, he would do the same thing. It was an embarrassing moment, and we've since talked to him about it, and I'm hoping he changes his ways. But
We've had a
he's from the South. He's from
conversation.
the South. He was a rescue from Alabama.
Oh.
And he was fostered in Northern Virginia. And we went down and rescued him. I thought he had a wonky face when we first got him, but he is now my best friend. I don't know what he would say, but I call him my best friend.
Well, I hope you're at least in the top 2 between you and Diana. So it's got to be the 2 of you.
She might win.
That's okay. That's okay. We love her too. Well, I'm super excited. You know the drill. We got a couple big final questions, and that doesn't mean by any means that we're done, but we're going to get to those right now.
Okay.
Erika, I'm going to give you a moment to change yours up because you've actually asked Tom your question, and he's given you an answer. It was the Food Fighters monkey wrench. So I'm going to go with mine. And I got to throw a little curveball in here because I know what your answer is going to be. So On the Runs is hosting this massive pasta dinner. It's going to be amazing. All our guests from this year are welcome, and they're all welcome to bring a +1. But I'm going to invite the entire Will Run For family. So that eliminates you picking anyone alive or dead to go as Erin. So now knowing that Erin, Michael, and Diana are all going to be there at your table, if you could invite one person in the world to be the +1 for the Will Run For podcast, anyone in the world, alive or dead, who are you going to take?
Do you think you know who I'm going to say?
I do know who you're going to say. Benjamin Franklin.
Like, what would I talk to Benjamin Franklin about?
I don't know. Then I have no clue who you're going to say.
I'll tell you what, and this is kind of a cop-out. I'd probably invite Taylor Swift, only so I could ask her questions like, okay, first, I'm a big fan. I'd ask her about the whole Travis thing and like what the attraction is there. just fine. I'd ask her why I feel like she sometimes takes advantage of her fans with like releasing multiple colors of albums at with the same songs on it. It's kind of a cash grab, and she definitely is a billionaire. She doesn't need the money. I might invite my buddy Dave Matthews because I'm a diehard Dave Matthews fan. Like seriously, what would we talk to Benjamin Franklin about?
I don't know. I just that was what I was
I mean, that would be awesome. Like the photo op would, first of all, if you pulled out an iPhone and you were like, "Hey Ben, like, can we take a picture?" He'd think we were warlocks and witches because he'd be like, "What is this magic?"
His mind.
He'd be like, "What is this?"
I just thought because you end every episode with a Benjamin Franklin quote on most occasions.
It's true.
I should have really thought Taylor Swift, and because of your name here in the corner, T Sizzle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's so many good ones, but like, who would have like the best conversation?
I actually think Jason Kelsey would be awesome.
Jason Kelsey would be fantastic.
Yeah, he'd be great. No one's invited him yet, so we need him. I think Travis is coming, so we need Jason.
Okay.
Oh man. Well, Eric definitely kind of train wrecked my my question because you did technically pick one. I think that was more collectively for the Will Run For podcast. You guys did. I think was it Everlong, Foo Fighters? I think that was the song you guys chose.
Or Monkey Wrench.
It was Monkey Wrench.
Was it Monkey Wrench? Oh, I knew it was one of those. Okay. Well, let's do it this way. I would like to go down or to California to do another Disney race. Which one should I do? Which one of those is like particularly your favorite, and which one would you recommend? Could be any of them.
I would say definitely in Florida. Definitely do a Florida race because you get multiple parks, and if you're going to do it, you should probably do marathon weekend. Because the marathon runs you through all 4 parks. I mean, you spend an awful lot of time on flat Florida highways, but like running through the parks is really cool. So I would highly recommend, and just the energy with marathon weekend is so cool.
When's your next Disney trip? Maybe I can plan mine around it again.
There you go.
The only thing we have planned, there's a race in, I think it's April, called Springtime Surprise, which is like a 5K, 10K, and like a 10 miler. And Diana wants to be perfect in that, so we're going to be doing that in perpetuity until we die. So we'll be doing that one. It's always really, really hot because it's April in Florida, so it's muggy and it's sweaty and it's all the things, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
So you guys have been running that since it first started. Is that what you're saying? That she's done every single one of them that has occurred?
Yeah, it came back. It was something else. It was another branded race, but the Springtime Surprise is only a few years old, and she's done it every single time.
Oh, how cool is that? I get that. I totally get it. I would want to do the same thing.
Are you like season pass holders, or like how many times a year are you going to Disney World then? At least 2 times, I think, right?
It's been it's been at least twice for a couple years now. Obviously COVID put a bit of a, threw a wrench in that, but at least once a year. It just depends.
You're a big fan, if I remember, of Pop Century or Art of Animation. They're both basically the same thing in the same neighborhood. But what do you think of like how's the Caribbean resort there? I'm thinking about doing that one next.
Those are nice. Those are
I stayed there.
I think those are considered moderate. If I say anything, it's because I've learned this from experience in Diana, but I might get my facts sort of wrong. But like Caribbean's nice. We've actually been staying the last couple of years. We've been staying on Erin and Michael's DVC points. So we've stayed at the Boardwalk or oh my God, what's it called? The Polynesian.
It's got to be amazing.
But we are Pop Century people. We are the value people because you're not really in the room that much.
Yeah.
And if you're going to spend money, there's other things you can spend it on. But like
Right.
the Caribbean is really nice.
What I think I'm going to do next time is I'm a big fan of Art of Animation because they're all family suites.
Okay.
And Adeline and I've been debating about taking her, and if she, depending on sports and everything, I want to just go with her for a quick couple of days, probably around Halloween or for the Mickey's Halloween party, right? And
Yeah.
that's when I'll do something like a different resort outside of Art of Animation. But the Art of Animation is perfect because they're all family suites. They're big, 2 bathrooms, couple rooms, and it was just perfect versus your typical hotel room looking thing. But you're so right. Unless you're going to spend a couple resort days, if you're not doing that, like Pop Century is perfect, Art of Animation is perfect, Caribbean is probably perfect. If you're going to have a couple days at the resort to yourself, the Polynesian is pretty nice.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
We feel like we're getting away with something because
I know.
we are not, the luxury resort kind of folk. But it's fine. I mean, we'll take advantage of it when we can. But um, also when you're staying at like Pop or Art of Animation, you have like the Skyliner and you have like all the transportation, and
It's amazing.
it's so easy. It just makes it
Yes.
so easy.
That was so key because we went and we used to stay at Port Orleans, Riverside. It was called Dixie Landings at one point, and the only access of transportation there is the bus. And I was like, no, I need something better than sitting at a bus stop waiting for a bus. I want to just be able to walk right onto the gondola or right onto the monorail.
Hmm.
And the Skyliner resorts were in my price range. The monorail resorts, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
So if Michael and Erin have any left of those points, maybe. But
You're gonna have to fight him for it.
friends are good to have. Friends are
Friends
very
are
good
great
to
to have.
have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're super happy that we're friends because I love this. This wouldn't have happened without Erin. We'll just put it that way. It wouldn't have happened without her looking at Erika's sparkly skirt one day and saying, "Oh, I like your sparkly skirt," and them connecting. And then I hooked on to you guys. I found you at Disney World just by chance, and then we've connected, and it's just been so cool. Michael and Erin stayed in my camper. We did Mount Washington. I hope to do more. When I do a Disney race, you better be there because I better not go to Disney without the Real Run For family there.
Oh, you got it.
And it's super cool, this connection we have made between all of us. And I'm so happy that you came on for your own episode. You were super like adamant when we invite you on, we invite all 4 of you on. And we did that for the great one, episode 99. But I knew with you having the Marine Corps Marathon coming up, and I knew the story, and I knew the reasons, I wanted to have you on to talk about it. And so in 5 days, dude, good luck. You're going to have a blast. I'm so excited for you and for everybody else to do your second marathon.
I'm
And I
excited.
think you're going to have a pretty great time and some pretty great reasons. I can't wait to watch. Michael and Diana, do a damn good job on your Instagram stories that day because I'm going to be like glued to it.
They have to blow it up on social media.
Yes.
We'll be following along. We'll be cheering you
Um,
on from afar.
Can I give a little plug?
Absolutely.
So one thing that we've been doing every year is we call it and I don't know if you were going to get to this, but we call it
Yes, thank you.
the
I was, but yes.
virtually live race. So again, back in COVID times, there are no races. There's nothing to like see friends at. People are just kind of out running by themselves, training for nothing. So we were like, what if we got everybody together on like a Zoom on like a random Saturday and did like a shared like 3, 2, 1, go, and then everybody just goes runs a distance, whatever they want to do, wherever they want to do it, with whoever they want to do it, and then afterwards we come back on and have like a Zoom party and all toast together. And it was a way to be virtually live together. Just again, it was all about the community, and it was all about the camaraderie, and just being outside and getting fresh air and whatever it is, and just celebrating running and all that stuff. So this is the 5th year that we're going into it. In past years, we've had a wooden medallion. We've had We've had swag in the past. typically there's a charity aspect to it. With Erin not being here this year, we're going to be doing a virtually live race on her birthday. If you go to our Instagram and there's a link there, you can register for it. This year we're just doing a bib. Michael designed a bib and a couple stickers. I think it's like $6, and then there's also you can donate to a charity, and the charity, it's called I think it's Unite for Her, and that's a local charity to the area that they live in, which was really really helpful with resources during her cancer treatment, and it's awesome and
I got my bib.
awesome. So like, if anybody wants to join us, obviously the more the merrier. It's definitely going to be a celebration of just the community, Erin, obviously the charity, and just the last couple years have been very rough. Obviously we lost Erin. Year before that, Diane and I lost one of our dog, Archie. Erin designed a medallion with like a dog crossing a rainbow bridge. I'm looking at it right now. Like, there's been a lot of like hard times, and then this is one of those things where like, and here comes Indiana Bones. See him?
Hi, Indy.
Hey, buddy. Hi.
Oh,
Hey, buddy.
handsome.
See, you don't have a wonky face, do you?
Not at all.
I thought he looked stupid, but no. Virtually live race. It's on Erin's birthday. Please feel free to join us. And if you don't want to sign up for the bib or anything, and if anybody would like to just donate, it's a great charity. I know it helped Erin and Michael tremendously. So
it's Saturday, November 22nd.
Yep.
It's $5 plus a little fee, so it ends up being $6.38.
Yeah.
Last year it was like $40 because of a lot of people and a lot of things that you did the socks, you did the medal, you did the bib that I have here. My medal's over there. I was like, I'm not going to take everything out, but I knew the bib was right here under the desk on a shelf.
I think I might actually have the.
So it's her birthday, the 22nd of November to Saturday. No excuses. $5. Join us. I did it last year for the first. There's the medal, and we got the bib here. Oh, it's great. So
I love it.
It's a great. Last year was my first one I ever did. It was amazing. I had so much fun being on the Zoom, and that was really cool. So I'm glad. You know what? Here's what I'm going to send you off with before hopefully we get a quote from Tom. But
God,
I am thrilled. I'm so happy that you guys have continued the Will Run For podcast. And I don't know what your plan is in the future. I don't know if your plan was just do this year or keep going. I hope it's keep going. Whatever you choose is fine. But like, I wouldn't have blamed you if you stopped. You did the one episode the week after she passed, and I wouldn't have blamed you if it was the last one. But then he did another and another, and then he brought the series back, the Inside the Runner Studio series, and the 3 you just keep going. And I thought, well, what are they going to do? Will it just be Tom and Diana? Will Michael be traveling? Will they bring on another co-host to fill in the void? No, you did it the right way. I'm so glad you continue to do it. I love listening. It's great. I'm happy and I'm proud of you guys. For the way you have handled everything in this last year plus, really, if you think about it. So kudos to the 3 of you. And we think of Erin all the time. We really do. I see little things like a dog, pet all the dogs. I think of her all those times. I only met her once. It's like, that's the impact she had.
I'm telling you.
Us.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. You guys are amazing. Just the energy and the positivity, and I'm a huge supporter of Stooley.
Yes. You want more stickers? I'll send you some.
Yes. Stooley's definitely on our refrigerator right now.
Yes.
We're gonna have magnets one day soon too.
I'm telling you.
I'll work on that. You know what? I should have been working on it already. I'm on it.
But no, we really appreciate you. We love listening to you guys. We've we've met people through your podcast, so we just continue to grow this community and really, really appreciate you both.
Well, the feeling is totally mutual. We love you guys too, and just your community. And I'm so glad our community could combine to make a super awesome running community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a blast. So, guys, Tom, I hope you're ready for quote.
T-Sizzle, let's go.
It's not the greatest quote, but apparently Benjamin Franklin was a drinker. And so, according to Google AI, this well-known quote was attributed to Benjamin Franklin. He said, "Beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy."
Love
Amen
it.
to that.
I wish that was about running, but it is what it is.
Well, that was amazing, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this. Tom, fantastic. I love you, man. Good luck in 5 days. Crush it. Have fun. Tom Stover, everybody, on the On the Runs podcast. That was wicked awesome.
Thanks, guys.